Hi, this is Sarah.
And this is Rachel.
And this is the Rippah Diaries, a podcast where we rip apart, episode by episode, the Vampire Diaries. Warning, this is a rewatch podcast, so there are potentially spoilers ahead.
This week we're talking about Season 1, Episode 13, Children of the Damned. In this episode, we have a lot of 1864 flashbacks. We get to see Stefan and Damon as humans before they were turned. We also get to see Katherine's amazing wardrobe. Love all of her outfits. We also get to meet Pearl for the first time. And we sort of figure out why Johnathan Gilbert's journals are so important and how they're going to get Damon to open the tomb.
Yeah. Lots and lots of information in this one.
Yeah.
On a first watch.
Yeah, on a first watch. It's just an information dump. You just get a lot of 1864 information and a little bit of present day information.
Yeah, this is only our second flashback episode.
Yeah.
So there's still just a lot where it's just like, you just gotta learn a lot. You got a lot to know. There's we've only scratched the surface in episode 6, and so now we're actually getting, quite honestly, a lot more in depth of why Stefan and Damon are in the state that they're in, relationship-wise.
Yeah, exactly. We sort of see their relationship deteriorate. Because in the last flashback episode, they call them the best of friends. They're still in a great spot. But
well, not they. Stefan. That's the thing that's really interesting here, is episode 6 was very Stefan-focused. It was Stefan telling the story to Elena. So it was very focused on his perspective on things. Although this isn't specifically from Damon's point of view, like it's not him telling the story or anything, it feels very Damon-centric this time. A lot of times we're getting it from his perspective. We get a little of Stefan as well, but
and some Anna's a little bit.
But like in a weird way, it does feel to circulate. I mean, it starts with Damon.
Yeah, and it also is meant to show Damon's motivations and how their relationship deteriorated, which is kind of because of the way Damon felt about things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it jumps right in 1864 in a flashback with Damon, who's helping Katherine, hunting humans.
Yeah, I love that we get the reveal that she was the one showing him the laying in the road trick. Yeah. I'm like, of course.
Of course. I know, I wrote that down too, that it is the first laying in the road. We've seen it already in the show. Yes. He did it in, I think episode 1 was the only time so far he's done it. Yeah. But yeah, of course, it becomes the Damon standard, and we see that was probably the first time he ever did it because Katherine taught it to him. So love that, but also just hate that whole scene in general for him, because it's like, he's still human in that scene. Katherine's just dragging him out, having him help her hunt people just to be like...
Just for fun, I guess?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if she's trying to, like, manipulate him, if it's part of the gaslight tactic. I don't know.
Well, I think... So, the scene goes on to show that, Damon says he wants to turn eventually. And so I think Damon really is just so in love with Katherine and is genuinely intending to become a vampire, and soon. He's just learning the ropes early. I don't know why they wouldn't wait until he had at least turned, but I don't know.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make a ton of sense.
Well, so that's why I'm saying it does feel kind of like it's just like a weird another way for Katherine to control him and like manipulate him, because of course he does want to become a vampire, but then she also comes over to him covered in blood around her mouth and tries to kiss him, and he like tries to dab it.
I know.
He's such a sweet little baby, and she just is like, you won't be able to get enough of it soon.
I know.
And just makes him like kiss her, and it's just like, she ruined him.
She really did. No, he was so pure, and now, I mean, he finds his way back, but
he can never get to that true human purity that he had before her. It's just really sad, and this scene really highlighted that for me. Like, we obviously knew it before, but like that scene like really highlights it, where you're like, she was actively breaking down all of the like good and humanity in him.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll talk about this more when it comes up later on in the show, but it also just reminds me of Damon's whole speech in season 2, where he's like, I want to be human. It's my so one secret. And I'm like, oh God. It breaks my heart. But anyway,
while we're here, modern day Damon currently is waking up Stefan and Elena, his new little trio. He's just talking about the plan. He's so excited, this little menage a trois threesome thing that they've got going on. And they're all just gonna like work together, so Damon thinks. But this scene,
I love this scene, just to kind of laugh at and have fun with. Damon goes in and wakes him up, and of course Elena and Stefan are in bed. Elena has on like a camisole, but like
Yeah.
Stefan is shirtless. Damon comes in, Stefan pulls the sheet over him like he's...
Yeah, Stefan has to cover up. Damon can't see.
Yeah.
Which Damon's line is brilliant. He's like, if I see anything I haven't before, I'll throw $1 at it. It's like, yeah, brilliant. Because, yeah, really, Stefan, what are you hiding that Damon can't see? He sure
he sure does all the time.
I don't know. It's so funny.
He doesn't even, like, cover up Elena. Like, he covers up himself. It's such a good scene.
It's such a good scene. And for anyone who's not in, like, the... like TikTok fandom or anything like that and hasn't seen the convention clips, there's some pretty behind the scenes funny things that just the angling of the cameras, there's some things to be suggested. We'll definitely post a meme on our TikTok when this episode goes live to pull. Because it's pretty funny, so we will definitely post that
definitely.
But otherwise not too notable of a scene. It's just them agreeing they're gonna work together.
And them talking about scheming, that sort of thing.
And then it goes from Stefan and Elena in bed, having fun. They're gonna make out or whatever, to Damon and Katherine. Back into the flashbacks. We're going back and forth this whole episode.
Yeah. This, I will say, while we're talking about going back and forth, the flashbacks are really well woven into the episode. Like, they always are relating to something going on in present day. So it is very back and forth. But
hard for us to talk about.
Hard for us to discuss.
Yeah,
but
as a viewer, it works really
in
well.
The episode,
It's like, and I think that one is a really good transition between the two of Stefan and Elena to Damon and Katherine. It works really well and like seamlessly. Yeah. And you kind of see this weird, I mean, it's almost a theme of Vampire Diaries, and it is the name of the next episode. Or, no, sorry, episode 9. I'm getting all mixed up where we are. History repeating. That history does repeat itself. That's something that comes up in Vampire Diaries all the time. And so this episode is a really good one to highlight that.
Definitely.
And so in this scene, now in 1864, we've got Damon and Katherine are in bed. She's wearing this black dress with this white lace that I love. She looks so good.
I know. Something where can I find a dupe? I don't know.
Literally. Something about like the shots and just the way that they have this like lit as well. I love the scene where Emily comes at the door and she just like looks over her shoulder.
Everything.
Gorgeous. It's
she's
so
stunning.
Good. Katherine is serving looks. She's serving evil, but she's also serving looks.
Yes. Sometimes you have to do both. I don't know.
Sometimes you have no choice but to do both.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but she's serving cunt in a lot of ways.
I don't know if you can say that, but you did.
We'll bleep it out.
Yeah. So then she goes downstairs and gets actually dressed. That's just her, I don't know, nightgown or whatever.
In her other amazing outfit.
The green
dress. Iconic.
One of the most iconic Vampire Diaries costumes probably is this green dress.
I think so.
And it's amazing. And so she comes down the stairs in that. And also, one of the funniest scenes in this episode is she's walking down the steps and she says to Emily, she's going to go outside with Pearl on like a walk or whatever. Yeah, so she says to Emily, tell Mr. Salvatore I'll be back because we just saw her with Damon. Yeah. And Emily says, which one?
And then Katherine just goes, both. Love her.
Again, serving. Like, she is just like, okay, Katherine. You do
like,
you.
We get it.
They're both upstairs waiting for you right now.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah. And then she does go outside and talks to Pearl. And Pearl, gets at the point of her serving. She's like, you really can't be doing this. You can't be going around with both of these brothers. Like, everyone knows. And
it draws suspicion.
It's exactly. It's making things risky for sure.
It's one thing, like, Elena to be doing that in modern day, nobody really cares. It doesn't make a difference. But
whatever.
Like 1864 social drama like really draws a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And as like a vampire, you definitely cannot be drawing attention in that way.
Yeah.
So Pearl is basically giving her the spiel of like, cool it, girl. Yeah. Like, you can't. This isn't gonna work long term. Meanwhile, then, we see who's with Pearl, her daughter.
Yes.
Anna.
The reveal. Pearl is Anna's mother. I think that's the first time it's revealed.
Yeah, it is. They do kind of like a dramatic sound effect.
Yeah, you don't see her face at first. It's like the back of her.
Yeah, right at the end of it, she turns around. And then again, I think we get jumped back into like the modern day. It's like, again, they're weaving everything together. You're going from one to the next pretty seamlessly.
Definitely.
And so Anna is Pearl's daughter. Meanwhile, we've got Elena and Stefan are sort of starting to, like, I don't know, weave their plans about how they're going to, like, deal with Damon. And again, I feel like we get Elena showing that she does really understand Damon.
Yes, I thought the same thing about this scene.
It's so great. We've talked about this several times, that Elena early on understands Damon. Like,
yes.
really understands him in a way that nobody does.
Yes.
And especially when you see it in comparison to Stefan, who's had 160 years to learn how to understand Damon and has no clue. Elena does it in like seconds. She says that, I really think that Damon believes everything that he has done has been for love.
Yes.
And she's like really like sympathizing like for him and with him.
Yeah.
To which Stefan is pretty much immediately like, well, he can do that without killing people, which is like, okay, Stefan. But also like
yes, probably. but like Elena says, he really does genuinely believe he's doing this for love. And yeah, I had the same thought about this scene. It shows she just understands him. And it's also really interesting with what happens in the end of the episode, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah. It's definitely just a great scene to sort of see where their sort of headspace is at. And it also does, like, again, with the ending, you're just kind of wondering, like, why Elena's going along with what she's going along with.
Yeah.
But then we see also Elena, she's going through her parents' stuff while they're having this conversation. Her parents kept the vampire muzzle.
Oh my god, I saw that. Yeah, I noticed that too. They were going through the journals and all of a sudden they open this box and it has, a literal muzzle.
A human-sized muzzle.
Yeah. How do you justify, like, I guess did no one else go through these things? I guess everyone else knew.
Stuff.
Her parents would have known.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
Like historical stuff. I'm sure they were like not really allowed to touch them, like as kids especially.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just whatever, but it's also like, why would they keep that?
Why?
Why would they keep it at their house?
Yeah.
We know they have the cabin or whatever. They could definitely have kept it there, but no, they were like, well, we'll just keep it in the like storage under our stairs. Whatever.
Yeah, totally normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird that they just kept this muzzle. And they kind of breeze past it. They don't have time. But again, it's one of those connecting future and past. We know what it's for.
Yes. And at this point, when they're looking at the muzzle, Jeremy comes downstairs.
Yeah, Jeremy comes down. And again, he gets asked about the journal. Where's the journal? And he tells them that he gave it to Alaric.
Of course, they go to the school and... Well, we see Alaric reading the journals of the school first. Mm-hmm. He's reading, the 1864 council is planning on putting everyone in the tomb. That's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. And then Stefan shows up and Anna shows up. They're all kind of there. Mm-hmm. And we see, someone's whooshing by the room, doing like the vamp speed by the room.
Yeah.
And Alaric grabs his stockpile of weapons, which he just has at the school.
Of course he just has.
Which I was like, I think this is the first time we really see like how invested in the
he's
vampire
a
hunter thing he is. Yeah, we know he kills Logan, but like he just kind of does that.
He has like one
whim,
steak, and like he definitely looks like shaken after he does it. But
now he's like, I can do anything.
Homemade air pressure steak grenade launcher, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So he, after he hears all the whooshing sounds, he goes back into his room with the compressed air gun and shoots. Who we see is Stefan, and Stefan catches it, of course, and is fine. And Stefan starts to interrogate him, and, he asks where the journal is, and the journal's gone. Anna has it. She's taken it. She was also there whooshing around. But yeah, they start interrogating, Stefan starts interrogating Alaric, and basically trying to ask, who is he? Why does he have this stockpile of weapons?
Yeah.
And, is he just here to kill all the vampires? What's going on? And Alaric does reveal, I'm here to figure out what happened to my wife. And he also tells Stefan that Damon is the one who killed his wife.
Yeah, but then also, not only did Damon kill his wife, they never found
the body. Yes.
So he wants answers, really.
Yeah.
It's not even like I'm here to kill him as revenge necessarily, so much as like, I want to know what happened. I just want to know.
Yeah, I just need the closure.
I need the closure. Like, we've talked about Matt as being a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Alaric, because Alaric in this episode, first of all, it's like, what time? It's middle of the night. No one's there. He's just at the school by himself.
Yeah.
He's photocopying every single entry of this diary, which I don't even know. I mean, I know it's important because he's trying to figure out this vampire nonsense, but it's just so funny that he's like, this is what he's choosing to do. In between that, he's grading papers, presumably.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, Alaric is Alaric is a sympathetic character.
He's very sympathetic, especially in the beginning. Yeah, and
he really needs
everything
that
happens. Yeah, he needs Damon to come and find him and be his friend.
Yeah, he definitely ends off in a better place when the show ends. But
for sure.
Yeah, he's in a rough place at this moment.
Just desperate to figure things out. It's pretty sad.
But I'm really excited to see like this moment. I didn't realize it actually happened this early that Stefan is aware of like what Alaric is, and then like Stefan knows he's not going to compel him. Like if Alaric has all these weapons, obviously he's on Vervain. There's no there's no point in trying. Stefan's not even really that strong enough to do it anyway. Yeah. So I think he kind of just leaves him be, but obviously warns him like, do not let Damon know why you're here.
Exactly. Yeah. Never tell him. And he also tells him, don't even try to kill him or really do anything. Yeah. Because it's not going to end well. Yeah. He's right, but...
Yeah. Yeah, Alaric will continue to become more in the fold in the next few episodes. Won't really be accepted until, what, like 17, 18, something like that?
17's where he really gets in, but
Yeah. But for now, that's what we get of Alaric. He served his purpose. The diary was stolen by Anna, but he did give the photocopied versions to Stefan.
Yes, importantly.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're going back into flashbacks again, lots of flying back and forth, and we get to see Katherine reveal to Pearl that she is going to turn the Salvatore brothers. Yes. Like, she does plan to change both of them. And then we see John Gilbert come in, and he has a crush on Pearl. They're like flirting. They like pinch her cheeks, and they talk about the comet for like a second, which I thought was like a funny thing to sort of introduce. It is a nice tie-in. And then they mentioned that Damon left the Confederacy on principle.
Yes, on principle. Thank God. I'm so glad they said this. Because I couldn't remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was canon or headcanon. I was really hoping canon.
I was pretty sure it was canon, but I was also like, I'm not accepting it if it's not. Exactly. So it's gonna be.
Yeah, everything I know about my life will be just destroyed. So yeah,
so he did leave on principle, which was nice also too that like they showed it with Stefan and his father, and Stefan is like saying like, we need to respect his decision. Like Damon made this choice. But the dad is just
Giuseppe's like no, he's a deserter.
Not. Yeah. Which, you know, again is like, it's another, I think, good look into Stefan and Damon's life as humans and like how they were raised. In this episode you get a lot of like how their father treated them and what his ideas were. Exactly. And just like quick short lines, the way he treats them. You can really understand what kind of father he was. And that's one of them, forcing your sons into the Confederacy.
It's also a great parallel with what we see happening in this episode. Not trying to make more out of it than there is and read too much into it, though that is the purpose of what we do. But it is a good parallel for like, you know, saying he should be in the Confederacy, and of course, like he shouldn't have deserted, he should stay in on principle and that sort of thing. And then, you know, Stefan later on is trying to reason with him about accepting vampires and not being prejudiced against vampires. Just very interesting. We just see Giuseppe's prejudice a lot in this episode.
We do, because that's what that conversation immediately turns to. Is Giuseppe reveals to them that there are vampires in Mystic Falls and that they have a plan to kill them. Yes. Which, you know, at the time, Damon and Stefan don't say anything to their dad about that, but they definitely both look at each other like, oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah. This is not good for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, again, jumping back and forth.
Back to the future.
Back to the future again. Modern day. Yeah. Damon is taken into his own hands to see what is going on. And he shows up at Elena's house to cook dinner for the Gilbert family. This is like...
I love this.
It's like one of my top favorite like scenes from season 1. Favorite like moments. I just love everything about it. Yeah. Damon is just cooking dinner while Jenna is sitting on the counter drinking wine, which I'm like, to be her. To be Gemma in this moment.
Yes. I also really like, well, I thought about this when we were watching it. I always forget Jenna and Damon are theoretically like the same age range.
That's true. They're probably
both around. Damon's I think supposed to be 25,
something like that.
And I think Jenna is supposed to be also around 25.
Yeah, she's definitely like early 20s. Yeah, I would think.
So I'm like, I just love when they hang out. They hang out again later in season 2. Yeah, of course, that's a great episode too. Yeah. And I'm like, it just makes more sense. I like when Damon actually gets to hang out with Jenna, and of course, I love getting more Jenna. So
of course, and Damon also is asking her about Logan, which is interesting. Yes. I don't really know what he was getting at there. Like if he was just trying to see if she how much she knew. I don't know what he was trying to.
I don't know. I mean, I think realistically, I think a big part of it is he's just trying to get in good with Jenna and talk
That's
to her
true.
about boy problems.
It's the one thing he knows that he can ask about.
Exactly.
But yeah, so
but he's also probably trying to see what she knows, if anything.
Yeah. And then Elena shows up and is like, what is going on?
What's going on? Why are you just in my house?
But so then from here on out, this scene just like kills me. The flirting between Damon and Elena.
So flirtatious.
It's so flirtatious. Damon purposely knocks into Elena when he's walking across the kitchen. Then they start arguing about whether it was deliberate or not. Yep. Damon saying Stefan's missing family night. I'm really enjoying it.
Yes.
It's so cute. It kills me.
It's precious. Oh.
And then Damon really like tries to get a heart to heart and asks if he can trust Stefan.
Yes.
And I love the fact that he felt the need to ask Elena that. You know, like that he trusted Elena enough to ask her.
Yeah. Exactly. I think it says so much that he, asked Elena when she was alone without Stefan. Not that he was like, cornering her and planning for her to be there alone. Stefan could have been there.
Yeah.
But I think it says a lot that he was willing to really put himself out there and ask, like, can I trust Stefan and can I trust you?
Yeah.
And then it also goes to, Damon gets closer to her and asks her again. And she says, I'm wearing vervain. I can't be compelled. And it breaks my heart. Damon says, I'm not trying to compel you. I just want you to answer honestly.
Yeah.
Every time it hurts my heart.
That scene kills me too, that she just immediately assumed that he was compelling her. Well, I think it's mostly just because his eyes, the look he's giving her, it's giving everything. It's giving, I will tell you all of my secrets.
Yes.
And so it's really funny that she immediately assumes that. And then they do start talking about trust. And, she just says, like, trust isn't something that you can just, like, give.
Yes.
And they are really having, like, a nice heart-to-heart. And they do talk about how, you'll do anything for the people you love.
Yeah.
And this is, again, like one of those things where Damon and Elena really understand each other. They really, on some level, like get each other in a way that Stefan doesn't.
Yes.
And this is like a good scene that sort of displays that.
Yeah.
Then we see Damon is playing games with Jeremy, and I don't know what it is about the lighting, the camera angle.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The framing. I don't know what it is, but the shot of Damon sitting on the couch next to Jeremy while they're playing video games is literally the hottest scene I've ever seen.
Which is saying a lot because there are really good 1864 scenes in this episode too.
But this shot is like one I would say if I was thinking about the best Damon has ever looked in the entirety of the series, this is the scene personally I would point to.
Interesting. I don't have the faces top that comes to mind, but it is really good.
The faces he's pulling, like his smirk when he's listening to Jenna and Elena talk about him, and Jenna says he's so hot, and Elena says he's an ass. Yeah. And just like the framing of it, his face, his hair, his clothes, everything about it is like that 1,000%. If you asked me,
yes,
hottest Damon Salvatore episode, it would be this one for me.
Yeah. Oh, well, also because it's just hot that he's trying to connect with Jeremy and he's there in family night. I'm like, there's just something about it. True. I'm like, it is really pure. I'm like, I remember why we love Damon.
Domesticity. Yeah. It really pulls off.
Yeah.
Then Stefan shows up.
Of course.
Unfortunately. Stefan always will show up.
Yep.
He's surprised what he's walked into.
Yeah.
But first we have to jump to Bonnie and Ben.
Yes, I forgot about their little date. They don't really give much build up. They just happen to go on the date.
She asked her out last episode.
Yeah. They don't. There's no preparation. Not enough Bonnie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they kind of just jumped to the date.
We got to the date. Yeah. And they ended up doing karaoke. Interestingly enough,
which I thought was so funny because last episode he was like, absolutely not, and then they did it.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I mean, Anna is basically prodding him and being like, do whatever you have to do to get Bonnie.
Totally.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
So they do karaoke. Ben sings a Metallica song. Interestingly enough,
who does he think he is?
I'm just picturing the Eddie Munson playing Master of Puppets.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's Ben.
Yeah, that's
Eddie Munson.
Yeah, that's him.
It's really good
karaoke. But yeah, they're talking about the karaoke, and then Elena comes up, and I had a moment. I just chuckled to myself. You probably heard me when we were watching. I was thinking, she is just like me for real. Talking about her best friend on a date. I was like, she's my best friend. I would die for her. All these things.
She's my sister.
Yeah.
Literally, all he asked was like, "Where are your friends tonight?"
Yeah.
Or, like something she's about like, "Oh, I remember Elena vaguely," and she's like, "I would die for her."
Yeah, I would die for her. She's just like me.
Yeah, but it's so funny too. Like again, like rewatch High Value of like, I would die really for her. I really would. She
wasn't
would.
Kidding.
And like we're bonded for life. They end up being
they do end up bonded for life.
Yeah, so it's just funny that even this early on, you know, the bond is already strong. It's nice that we come in and they're like, you know, they are the best of friends.
Yes,
it's so highlighted in these early episodes.
Yes.
So yeah, they talk about Elena for a little bit. And then Elena calls Bonnie during the date. Again, best of friends. Bonnie has to tell Elena all the details about how the date's going.
And I love that she also answers in the middle of the date.
Yeah.
She's iconic.
Call.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she says something about, you know, like, he's good, but, like, it's just been a little, I don't know if she says boring, but she's just kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
He's being, like, too polite or something like that.
Yeah.
She just wants to grab him.
And lay one on him. I was like, Bonnie, you dog. She says it. She really does. Cut.
I'm back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We literally had to take a breather because I was laughing for like 3
water.
minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm back.
Anyway,
yes. Elena and Bonnie are on the phone.
Yes.
Bonnie's a dog.
Bonnie's a dog.
Elena is like hyping her up. She's like, "You're a powerful witch goddess."
Yes.
Lay one on her, Broomhilda.
Yeah, Broomhilda. Yeah.
It's so funny. I just love their call.
Them. I love their friendship. I love their conversation. All of it.
It's so great. I just wish it was with a more deserving date.
Me too. Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Damon.
Yes.
Immediately, they like have realized that, I don't know, somehow they put together that Damon.
Well, they asked Jeremy what he ended up doing with the journal.
Oh, that he gave
Jeremy
it to
says
Alaric.
He gave it to Alaric.
Anna took it.
Yeah. She was the only other one who knew about the journal.
They've all pieced it together.
So Damon goes with Jeremy to the grill.
Yeah.
He drives him. Yeah.
Yeah, Damon charges in from the porch where they've debriefed on all of this. And he's just like, "Let's go, Jeremy. I'll drive you." Yeah. And so he takes him to the grill. And then while they're there, he sees Anna. And he immediately puts it together. Which, again, launches us into another flashback of Damon seeing Anna while he's with Katherine and she's talking to Pearl. Also, something about this scene, Katherine is just such a monster. Like, it's already been highlighted in this episode, but this is a scene that really kills me because they're all kind of talking about the vampire situation.
Yes.
And they say something about Damon potentially, like, betraying them or turning them in or something like that. And Damon says, "I would rather die." And she's just like, "You will soon." We're like, "You will soon enough." She's so flippant about it. And I understand that he wants to be a vampire, but, like, girl, like...
Yeah.
She's so blasé about it, and I hate it.
Yeah, no, she's so cold. You can tell from the beginning. I mean, it's not as clear until you get a little bit more of her, I think. But on a rewatch, you can tell, like, already. She's so cold. She is really just self-serving.
Yes.
It really comes out in these flashbacks, especially on, like, a second or third watch.
Everything is a game. Yeah. Which I feel like is actually perfectly highlighted in one of the flashbacks with Giuseppe. She's playing...
Yeah.
I was going to say croquet.
I don't know.
Croquet. I think it's croquet. Yeah. She's playing croquet, and... he says something about her cheating or something. She says, "I would never cheat." And I was like, oh my God, Katherine totally would.
Yeah, of course. She was definitely cheating that whole time. Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, by being a vampire, she's cheating
already.
She's already inherently stronger, faster, etc., etc. So yeah, Katherine does play games. And that scene just kind of made me annoyed with her even more, where I was just like, way to be just like so flippant about him dying. It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah. Also in that scene, I mean, Pearl again is like, "We should go, Katherine. Like, we should not be staying here." And she just writes Pearl off. Yeah. It's just a small thing, but she's like, "No, we're gonna stay."
Katherine will always build in protection and reassurances for herself. Yeah. So she doesn't really worry about staying longer because she knows she'll be fine. She's already built in all those backup plans. She's already been working with Emily for sure. Again, she's got a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. Yeah. You know the rest of the rest. Yeah. And so in this moment, you know, Pearl is worried because she has real reason to be, and Katherine knows she won't face the consequences, so she's just kind of...
She doesn't care.
She's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go to modern day. Stefan and Elena have the photocopied version of the diary from Alaric, and so they're reading that, and they're going through it, and first of all, the founding families are so evil. They killed Emily, burned her at the stake, and then they stole her grimoire. They took her spell book and had to, like, literally one of them had to bury it in their grave with them just to keep it from her. And there's, like, all this, like, lore in the diaries about people being afraid they'll be cursed so they won't take it and just all this stuff. And I'm like, wonder how much of that is not just, like, the fear of witches, but also, like, racism and, there's just a lot to be said about the treatment of the Bennets throughout Vampire Diaries 1864 and current.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The racism is strong there, I think, for sure. Like, Emily is just, I think there are other times when we'll bring it up, but, this really shows just how terrible they were to Emily, and, it's just not, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Again, the Confederacy, we're deep in it.
Yeah. I always forget this is set in Virginia.
yeah. But anyway, they're actively reading the diaries, trying to figure this stuff out. And Damon goes to Anna. He somehow finds out where she's staying. I don't know.
I think he just follows her.
Yeah, but he's in the room when she gets in. So he somehow knew which room. I don't know. I don't know how I pieced it together, but he did. So he's in the hotel room when she gets in, and they start choking each other. And they're just like stalemate. Just choking each other. And then finally they both give up. Because we don't know how old she is. I don't think they ever reveal that. But she's obviously older than them.
Yeah.
But
at least by a little bit. But
at least by a little bit.
How much.
But she is in a much younger body. You know, she's supposedly a teenager. Damon's probably supposed to be at least like 10 years older than her, if not, 8 or 9. So, they're a pretty fair match between each other. And they start talking, and Anna reveals that she had been slipping Loganfell blood when he started acting like a vampire killer. Yeah. And she knew she might need his family journal, so she didn't want to, like, lose him as a resource. So she started giving him blood, and so that was why. She knew he was potentially going to get himself killed. Yeah. And she wanted to make sure. Yeah, she wanted to make sure she'd have access to him if he did. Yes. So that worked out perfectly for her. Yeah. For a while.
Well, for a little bit. I don't know if she really... I guess she does say she did finally get to read his journal, his family journal at some point.
It just wasn't the right one.
It just didn't point her in the right direction. So then she finally got to read the Johnathan Gilbert journal today, which then pointed her towards Giuseppe's journals. Yes. And, all of his things being with him.
Yeah, so Anna has had... all these plans, all these people she's been working in, including Ben, of course, was revealed last episode, who Bonnie finally decides to kiss. She kisses, and immediately those witch instincts kick in.
Bad vibes.
Yeah, she immediately knows what he is. And she tries to run away. I couldn't tell if she was going to the bathroom or the door. I couldn't really tell.
It looked like she was trying to go out the back. At least that's what it sort of seemed like.
That's kind of what I thought, too. I mean, it wasn't the front door that they all go through.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the front. I don't think it was the bathroom. We've sort of seen the bathroom before.
Yeah. So she must have been trying to sneak out the back, and he immediately grabbed her. And that's unfortunately where it ends with Bonnie. We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see where that ends up.
Gets her next episode. Yeah. But yeah, so that's Anna's whole plan is very much in works. She's got... the Gilbert journal. She knows that she needs Giuseppe's, and Damon says he works alone. He's not gonna work with her.
Yeah, once Anna sort of pieces this together for him, Damon leaves and says he works alone. Yeah. So then, while that is all going on, Stefan and Elena have, of course, also figured out that they need to go to Giuseppe's grave. Yeah. Because he wrote in his journals he's taking his things to the grave. Yep. So they go and they start digging up the grave. And we get some flashbacks worked in there, too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Stefan being an idiot.
Yeah, Stefan being...
Stefan being Stefan. Yeah. Which, to be fair, he was truly, like, 17 years old at this time.
A naive human, so it's a little bit more forgivable.
Who also, like, presumably, like, really looked up to and trusted his father. I think that's the sense you kind of get in these episodes. And so basically what's happening is when he realizes that this vampire hunt is going on, it could potentially get Katherine killed. He really wants to go to his father and say, we should think differently about the vampires. They're not all bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which he is warned by Damon not to do. And you can tell Katherine also doesn't want him to do it. But he does eventually go and do it. He doesn't name Katherine.
No.
But he says in general, like, maybe the vampires aren't so bad.
Yeah, maybe they're not all evil.
But that sets off the red flag to Giuseppe, who's like, I did not, like, raise you to be like this.
Someone else is in your ear. Obviously, Giuseppe is not an idiot. He puts together Katherine as a vampire.
Yeah, and he puts vervain in Stefan just to be sure. He spikes one of his drinks. So then the next time that Katherine feeds on him, immediately she gets knocked out because of the vervain. And he comes in, and we see where Stefan got his move from episode 4 when he did it to Damon. Because basically what he does to Damon with Caroline is what his father did to him with Katherine.
Yeah, exactly.
So Katherine's out for the count, and Stefan is there for her sort of like last night when she gets dragged out.
Yep. They put the little muzzle on her that Johnathan Gilbert somehow still had. Yeah.
Yeah, so chaos is going on in 1864.
Yes.
And Elena and Stefan are digging up the grave, finding the grimoire inside his coffin. They make some jokes about it being just, the weirdest day ever.
Yeah, not many girls can say they've done this.
Yeah, just hanging out with her boyfriend on a random night and digging up his father's grave.
Yeah.
Casual things.
Yeah, no big deal.
So then poor Damon shows up as they're doing this.
Yeah, right as they figure out they've got the grimoire.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's devastating to see the betrayal. It's not a good moment for anyone involved. Even Damon, this ends up being a pretty bad moment. All three of them. Bad showing.
Yes, definitely.
But Damon isn't surprised that that Stefan lied to him. Obviously he asked Elena in the kitchen earlier if he could even trust Stefan, so he kind of knew that it was a risk. Yeah. But then he looks at Elena and says, "You really
were the one that fooled me.
Yeah, you fooled me." He did trust her.
He really did trust her,
and that's the one that was more devastating of the deceit.
I think no matter what, Damon was never going to fully trust Stefan, and I don't think he did, even after Elena said that Damon could trust Stefan. But I think he did trust Elena, even if he didn't trust her saying that he could trust Stefan.
Yeah,
I think he trusted that she
wanted to trust Elena.
Yes,
so
and
bad.
He wanted to trust her. Yes.
Yeah, and so then unfortunately, the only leverage that he has against Stefan in this moment is Elena. Yes. So he kind of starts to threaten her, and Stefan's like, you won't kill her.
You won't do it.
Stefan even realizes that he cares about Elena and that Damon won't kill her. Even this early on, Damon is not willing to kill Elena. Yeah. However, as he is pretty much throughout the series, he's okay with her becoming a vampire.
Yes. Yeah.
And so he immediately rushes over, feeds her blood, and he says, we can have a vampire girlfriend.
Yeah, so either give me the grimoire or history will repeat. That should have been the title of this episode.
Literally.
Yeah. So, they're sort of at a stalemate, but Stefan is like, yeah, of course, I'll just give you the grimoire. So
he doesn't want that for Elena. He doesn't care as much about the tomb opening as he does Elena staying human.
Yeah, and the moment where after Stefan sets down the grimoire and Damon is about to let Elena go, it's just such a tender moment.
He sort of lightly kisses her hair in a way. It's not a full, but it's just this very gentle caress.
It's like a gentle lean into her.
Yeah, and he really gently sort of guides her, pushes her out towards Stefan, and you can see that he regrets it immediately. Yeah. He regrets hurting her like that. He regrets doing that to her. But he's just so desperate. He's so desperate for Katherine and just for getting something that he wants that he does that. And he immediately regrets it. And it's really unfortunate. Yeah. But we go back in time and sort of see also why Damon is so desperate. And also why he is so betrayed by Stefan in this moment. Because Stefan obviously did it before.
Yes, exactly. Stefan, we go to the flashback back to 1864, and we see that Damon confronts Stefan and is like, I know you told him. And Stefan does say, I didn't tell him. Yeah,
but it was Stefan's fault.
It was Stefan's fault. And Stefan does say to Damon, I didn't think it would turn out this way. I didn't think it would be.
Again, a naive 17-year-old.
Just naive.
He just thought it would be fine, but of course he was the one that set in motion those acts of getting Katherine caught. Yeah. And
unintentionally, but still.
Unintentionally, but still. And especially after Damon specifically told him not to do it. Yes. That's the thing I think that's really the betrayal there of he didn't trust Damon to just not do it.
Yeah.
So Damon's going to go try to save Katherine. Stefan wants to help, but Damon is just so mad at him. He won't let him help.
Yes.
And
he just runs off.
He just runs away.
Right.
It's so funny. But it's unfortunate, this scene, because you really see that this is the moment that the trust was broken between them.
Yeah. The brothers' bond was broken in this moment.
The brothers' bond. Wink, wink.
Yes.
So, yeah, that moment, it's just broken between them.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I don't think they ever trusted each other again.
Not fully. No.
Not
yet in the series.
I was going to say, I don't know at what point in the series, eventually they do, I think.
Of course. I think
but I honestly don't even know when we get there. Maybe season 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
But even then, there's just always so much going on that it's hard for them to do it.
Yeah.
But either way, this is the moment where it broke and it didn't really ever get itself back for 140 some years.
Yeah.
So we go back to present day, and Elena is complaining about her head hurting, and she's like, does it do that? Does the vampire blood like hurt your head? Or however she asks. But it's like, that's not a thing.
No. I don't know. She's probably just being a little dramatic. I don't know. Maybe
psychosomatic.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking just the stress of the situation. Exactly.
1,000%. It's probably the stress is giving her headache.
And also, she probably feels really bad about betraying Damon.
That's what I was gonna say.
So,
I was gonna say Elena's a lot like me, because when I hurt somebody's feelings, I feel physically ill. So same, really same.
Yeah.
Feeling like I let somebody down, I'm out.
I need an aspirin.
I need an aspirin. I need a nap. So she's really relatable in that moment. So Elena can't find any aspirin, so Stefan offers to go downstairs and look for some for her. Jenna's in the kitchen, so he talks to her for like a minute, and it's just like a cute little, you can't stay the night,
Yeah, just a little fun conversation.
Yeah, remind you I'm a parent figure here.
Yeah.
But she goes to kind of grab it for him, and Jeremy's sitting there, and I think he notices that like he has somebody over, but they're not there. So they mentioned that Jeremy has a friend over named Anna, and for Stefan, that triggers this memory from 1864 of seeing Katherine having this friend Pearl who has a daughter named Anna, and on the night that Katherine was like taken away, he also saw Pearl getting taken away because Johnathan Gilbert had identified her using the compass again, drawing connections, bringing things back around. So Pearl got taken away, and Anna was being held by Emily, and they were kind of watching from the distance. As that was going down, and Stefan saw that happen. And first of all, just sidebar, interesting that Emily was like comforting Anna and was like, "You'll see your mother again. Like you'll see her. Don't worry." Because I thought Emily never had any intention of the tomb being opened. So was she just lying?
I think so. I think she was. I mean, the possibility was always out there that it could be open, so she wasn't wrong per se. And maybe her intention changed over time, like after she...
That's true.
After she died and talked with the ancestors or something like that.
Because we also don't know at this time, like, I kind of assume Emily looks young. Maybe she doesn't have children yet. And so maybe she's not necessarily thinking as much about protecting future generations. She's more so, just thinking about, whatever she's working on. But when she actually does start to have children and, like, knows that she will have ancestors by the time the tomb is open. Because it's one thing to be like... sure, I'll close this tomb for 140 years. And another to be like, I will actively have family that I will want protected.
Yeah.
So anyway, sidebar. So she was probably lying.
Yeah, probably.
But Stefan sees this.
Yeah, and Emily also gives a little nod to Stefan. That's also reassuring for him.
Yes.
Yeah, because he can't hear what they're saying, but,
Yeah.
She gives him a nod that's like...
It's okay. Don't worry.
It'll be okay.
So modern day Stefan is sort of remembering this, realizing, wait, Jeremy's friend Anna, who weirdly wants the diary, who's just weirdly around for all of this, is that Anna?
Yes.
He runs upstairs.
Yes.
And Elena's
screams
not
for
there.
Elena. She's gone. Not screams, but he's calling out to Elena, and she's gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
See, she's not there.
She's gone.
Yeah.
And then
so that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll pick up with, is this Elena's first kidnapping? I think it is.
I think so, yeah, and Bonnie's.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bonnie gets kidnapped that many more times, but...
Elena, it's like multiple times an episode or a season.
Yeah.
She does have another one this season that I remember, but yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah.
First kidnapping?
Yeah, first kidnapping for Elena, yeah. But as for deaths in this episode, the only two were the two random people that Katherine killed
in 1864
in the flashback. I don't know if those fully count, but we'll mention them anyway.
Yeah, random businessman, coachman, drained of blood. Well, whatever.
Whatever.
Out of pocket. I gotta say, for me, it also goes to Katherine.
Okay. Mine is also Katherine, so I'm wondering if it's the same.
It might be the same moment. My moment is her telling Emily to tell both Salvatore brothers that she'll be stepping out.
Yes, that was my moment too. And also just generally the fact that Katherine was doing that in 1864 and she's staying with them. I'm like, Giuseppe has to know, like, not that he knew she was a vampire, but that he knew she was...
like, sleeping with both of his
sleeping
sons.
with both sons. Like, she was wild for that.
Wild for that. Because that would be, like, honestly pretty wild and shocking now to hear of, like, somebody staying with a family and sleeping with both of the, like, children of that family.
Stunning. Yeah.
It would be stunning now. The fact that she was doing that in 1864, girl.
She did not give a fuck.
She really
crazy.
Didn't. Katherine was,
she's out of pocket. Yeah,
comes back around on the show too.
Full circle. Yeah, exactly. But as for best quote in the episode, I think my quote is the quote we already mentioned. If I see something I haven't seen before, I'll throw $1 at it.
Yes.
Damon always has the best quotes.
Yeah, I always will nominate a Damon one-liner, and that one has to be the winner. It's the only one I even wrote down, honestly. I think I've quoted a few things as we've been going, but that was the only one that I was like, best quote.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll see something. If I see something I haven't seen before, I'll throw $1 at it. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, song of the episode... I don't feel like there was any standout songs this episode.
I'm really at a loss here. I don't have anything written down even.
It's sort of the consequence of a flashback episode.
Yes.
That it just in general, one, just calls for less music. They never use... they never use modern songs in the flashbacks. They'll always opt for the score.
Scoring, yeah.
So I'm a little inclined to just say... Vampire Diaries scoring, just the general theme music is the best song.
Yeah.
There were only 4 songs used, and they were all sort of just general background music at the grill that honestly didn't stick with me or stand out to me at all.
Yeah, sometimes the music at the grill is kind of loud, and it's a great song, but not in this episode.
Not in this one.
No.
Because the only stuff going on at the grill was Ben and Bonnie, and there was just nothing to really highlight or accentuate there. So it's just sort of background music.
Yeah. So I think just the scoring or theme.
The scoring. Yeah. If we can do it, we will add that to our song of the episode
playlist.
Maybe
a little quick score song in there or something.
But yeah, we do have a playlist on Spotify of all the best songs, so you can see some of the other episodes that have actually had really, really good songs, because there's plenty of them. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Rippah Diaries podcast. We post tons of fun memes, edits, whatever else, I don't know, duets, whatever we're doing over there, it's there. And have a lot of fun time connecting with all of you guys there. And you can listen and re-listen to our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can watch the video version on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So that's it for this episode. Next week is Season 1, Episode 14, Fool Me Once. Yeah.
I don't remember much of what happens in that episode, but...
I think the tomb gets opened.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong.
I'm pretty sure the tomb gets opened, so...
Yeah, I think so.
Some good, some bad.
A lot of bad.
Lots of interesting things will get launched in the next one.
Yeah.
There is one thing I'm thinking about that I'm really excited to talk about, so definitely tune in next week so you can hear us talk about that, because I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely a lot to talk about with that episode.
There is. As always, so thank you for watching or listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.